to the ones. You've been divided into parts, sectioned up. It's a book on every part, but no book on you, the whole. There's no human manual how to operate, what to do if it goes wrong. We're in the process of making one. But that's another note, another story actually. Listen, you have been hypnotized and brainwashed to neglect yourself, to not care about yourself. In extreme cases, commit slow, steady suicide. To practice suicide so slow that it doesn't scare you, like leaping off a bridge or a tall building, or jumping in front of a truck, or shooting yourself with a gun. Those things may scare you because you can see it coming. You can feel it. It's gonna hurt. These slow suicides, you don't feel a thing until you're diagnosed. Then the pain starts. So, here's how it works. You have priorities. Okay? They're tied in a circle. You care more about your head than you do your internal body. Okay? And you care about your external body more than your head. But you don't even care about your external body, because the external body is created by the internal body. Now, in other words, what you eat and consume and the things your organs do produce your skin and hair and looks and eyes and teeth and bones. It goes both ways. Now, if you don't even care about your head, you know you don't care about your insides. If you care about your head more than your insides, your mind or whatever, and you don't even care enough about it to find out its parts, how they work, what does it take to keep them functioning, what will kill them and hurt them and make them not work. But you know the names of all these songs and movie titles and all these news reels and stories. You know you have more memory data about past presidents than you do about yourself. You know celebrities better than you know you. You pay more attention to them than you do yourself. What am I saying? Why must you go to medical school and become a doctor? To learn your body parts, how they work, how they dysfunction, what the cause and the cure of these conditions are. Why isn't it standard for any human being trying to stay alive to know? Why isn't it basically known and force-fed? Because it is a must. Why is there a book and a manual for every other thing? You can get a book on cat care, dog care, bear care, tell you everything about a bear, how to take care of it, how to feed it, how to do it, how to raise it, its habits, everything. But the attempts on human are failed. The child books, the self-help books, the perfect marriage books, the relationship books, the you can succeed books. If any one of them had worked, it would have been the Bible of that thing. Everyone would know it and everyone would be on it. None of them succeeded at telling you what a human being is, where it comes from, how it's created, how it functions, what are the threats to it, what are its limitations, how to. It seems they concentrated only on how to extend it. Those are the only ones who concentrated on your body parts. You didn't. Those who wanted to extend vision came up with eyeglasses and periscopes and binoculars and microscopes. They wanted their eyes to be able to see further. Those who came up with microphones and loudspeakers wanted their voice to be heard further. Those who came up with transportation wanted their legs to carry them further. All right, so they extended their abilities with bicycles and then motorcycles, less effort. Then convenience took over. There was no emphasis on extension. That's how come inventions came about that are killing you. The world fell off purpose. The purpose for all these gadgets and creations, or so-called creations, were to extend our life and abilities, make us able to do more. When it fell off purpose, things started getting created that debilitated you, even are killing you. Now we are creating things, suicidal things, not to extend ourselves, but to shorten our lifespan. And no one's saying anything because they don't even know why we started out creating things. Now you know the purpose of creation, or the purpose of ours using that word, invention. Okay? For longevity, for self-preservation. All right? We wanted to see threats coming further away. We wanted to see opportunities further away before we walk way over there and there's nothing there. We wanted to get there faster before the fruit rots and falls off the tree. These were extensions. All of them were supposed to make us live longer, be more secure, protect us against threats, strengthen our weak parts like our skin. That was the invention of clothes, which led to armor. Then it started going downhill to nakedness, bareness, wide open. The heat will burn you from the sun. You can get scraped, scratched by anything and anyone. And all it takes is a pin to kill you in this sick world of maniacs who with poison. One pin prick or scratch in a grocery store shopping line. You're dead. And you're totally wide open. Because you're no longer buying clothes to protect your skin and make it stronger. You're buying something for people to look at and see and think you are a leopard that can change its spots. Look at me today, don't I look different? This is me, the way I look. And then so I'm changing. If I change my look, I change. No, you're the same you. If you have $1 million in your pocket, or no dollars in your pocket, you are still you. The money isn't going to make you taller, stronger, more handsome, beautiful, wiser, or anything. It's all illusion that only takes place inside your mind. And must I remind you that everything is real except the thoughts in your head. They're imaginary at best. So this imaginary game with brainwash that's been put on you has got you mistreating yourself. You're creating self-destruction and suicide and genocide, everything. We have to slam on the brakes, assess the situation again and say, whoa, we fell off purpose. We're not extending the world. These things are destroying them. Then it's what now? Okay. What now? Do we destroy these wicked inventions that are killing us? They have become someone's livelihood and part of a free choice system. And some people freely choose to kill themselves. Remember, the world is insane and lost their mind. So people are out there consciously knowing that this is harmful and still doing it. And then there's those who have developed habits and addictions where they can't stop. And if you take it off the market, they'll make one or produce it or find it themselves. The only one that has ever been able to hang on to me was the tobacco habit. They ambushed a small child, 11 years old, gave him an addiction. He's only been able to shake it when he was incarcerated and restricted from it, but he still didn't shake it because day one, hour one outside, poof, he was smoking. After months and months of no cigarettes, he chose to go back and do it. Different things. Insanity doesn't make sense. People, please remember, you cannot reason with crazy people. Do not try this at home, what you see me doing in these mental notes. You cannot reason with an insane person. A crazy person doesn't need a reason, sound reasons for nothing it does. It's crazy. It doesn't have to have a reason. And it's not going to give you any reason or feel it should. It doesn't even have to justify its actions. It responds with some crazy statement that also doesn't make sense. So, you may think, oh, I know the truth and I told them sound reasoning and they should just take my advice and go on with it. They are insane. It is not that simple. Leave it to the professionals. Stick to the person in the mirror. Take these tools. Work on you. Because that's another mental problem, to go out preaching and teaching to someone when you don't have your crap together. You should be working on you 24/7 every second, but you have other people to work on too. Siblings, children, mates. So you have no time to be out here pointing a finger and criticizing and critiquing and problem solving for other people in other situations, not even the president, which is way out of your powers and jurisdictions and abilities. You've been led astray, thinking you have some say-so in that matter. But this note is about you are one identity, one being, one person, one thing. Your parts aren't separate, okay? They're all connected together into one piece. You won't find anything disconnected. So there is no such things. I repeat, there is no such thing as body parts. You don't have parts. It's just a word we use to draw a picture in your head. It's one thing that has many dimensions to its form. But it's not disconnected. This is where all this craziness of cutting out your parts came from. Someone sectioning you and dividing up the functions. Here's where they're lying to you at. There is no independent functions. None of these systems or organs or our cells or anything operate independently. They are interdependent. You can't remove something without it affecting something else. And everything is tied together. They make you think they can transplant and do all these things. If anything's missing out of your motor, your car is not going to run or run right or run for long. So all amputation and operation that calls for a movement is a death sentence eventually. That's what you're not being told. You're sectioned off, organ donor. If you didn't need 2 kidneys, you wouldn't have 2. Believe that. You're one thing. Separate things are disconnected. Like the other person. No, you're not some big species. On the physical plane, you are a separate being. In the sea of energy, you are part of the all. Now that's the only part I ever saw in the ability to part something. Was for us to act independently and be a separate entity inside this sea of atomic existence. I'm going to say motion because some of it is stagnant and dead now, thanks to us. Here's another note at the end. There was nothing dead or stagnant in this existence realm or world before we touched it, before one of us touched it. There was no such thing as a dead thing. Now this wood that's everywhere is dead trees, death. Rocks that we got our hands on and coated with something, they're dead now. They were in a state of creation, constantly doing what they do, mountains, everything. There was nothing dead until we extract pieces and parts and chemicals and juices from it to make what we want out of it, to make something dead out of it. So I always throw in a different thought at the end so that people who don't listen to the whole note come up short over those who were dedicated and diligent and listen to the thing to the end. I give you a definite advantage every time in every note. Self-preservation surfaces. That's what they are. They're notes on what you need to know to survive in this world. That's what it's about. It's about living and doing whatever it takes to keep on living, to survive whatever may occur at the hands of the insane or whatever, nature or whatever. Even that's tied to our actions. That's a completely different note. It cannot be at the end of this one. SPS. Sigh. SY. Save yourself, and you know why.